Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Moving Markets Podcast. It is Wednesday, June the 11th, 2025. I am starting a little bit early. The market has been open for, let's call it 18 minutes. So I'm starting a little bit early this morning for no other reason than I have a dentist appointment coming up and want to get a couple things done before I leave for that. So there's really nothing else to it. It's just got that going on, and that's the reason we're starting a little bit early today. Let's take a quick peek. A little less than 20 minutes into the open of trading, we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average down a little bit. The S&P and the Nasdaq both up a little bit. Oh, wait, I just refreshed it. It's exactly the opposite. The Dow has now moved up just a fraction, and it is the Nasdaq and the S&P that are down just a fraction. So we just did in the time it took me to refresh the screen, just did a complete flip-flop. I would tell you all three indexes very, very flat overall. The Dow almost dead flat. The S&P, we're talking 0.03% move right now. The Nasdaq about the same, probably 0.03%. And keep in mind, what's on my screen right here has a little bit of a delay because I just hit refresh again, and now it shows the Dow and the S&P up a tiny bit, and the Nasdaq almost completely dead flat. So overall, a very tepid, very flat market. I got to tell you, there's a handful of things that could be sort of counterbalancing and counteracting each other. CPI numbers came in, and I think there was so there's some good in the CPI numbers because the consensus was month over month we'd be up 0.2%. We were only up 0.1% year over year. Instead of being 2.5, there was an expectation that it would be 2.5. It was only 2.4% increase year over year. But the expectation, while the expectation was, the actual number was a little bit better than the expectation. It was still a teeny tiny rise from the previous year over year number. This is on core CPI. Then when you take out food and energy and go core, again, the number for month over month, a little bit better than expected. The year over year number, a tiny bit better than expected. So overall, you had a good CPI report, not an overwhelmingly good CPI report, nothing crazy good, nothing to write home about necessarily, but a good report. At least it's not going in the other direction, and that would have been pretty bad if it had been going in the other direction. Then you've got the stuff going on in LA, and now it's, I hear there's some similar things going on in Chicago, and that is certainly of concern. But just like we talked about yesterday, so far the markets are kind of shrugging it off. It feels like the markets are able to look past that a little bit. Senator Ron Johnson was on a financial news program this morning and sounded for the first time in a week kind of optimistic about the big key piece of legislation that the president wants to get through. He sounded a little more optimistic about some progress being made, about that possibly getting through. So you've got some good things going on. And then in the background, you've got China talks going well. But then you get a little bit of a feud going on with Jay Powell and with the White House still pressuring Powell to try and drop interest rates. It's good news. I think it's good news overall, but it's not overwhelmingly good news. So you've got a market that is just kind of, I think, in a little bit of a wait and see mode to see, what's the final information we're going to get on China. Trump has said in principle they've agreed to a deal, but we're waiting to see what details of that deal will be. So I think you've got a stock market that's in very much a wait and see mode. And if you look ahead to the remainder of the week, tomorrow we'll get PPI numbers. And then we'll get consumer sentiment on Friday. unless PPI numbers come in dramatically different than CPI numbers, and that could be, good or bad, but unless they come in pretty dramatically different. I don't expect the PPI numbers to really move things. I think it's going to be more some final news on China and the trade deal we have with China. That'll be the bigger mover of markets, I think, in the next couple of days. And then hopefully the worst is behind us in terms of what's going on in LA. We'll see. That's going to play out, and we'll just hope for the best there. All right. I sent out last night adjustments to 4 different collar trades. One of them was on American Airlines. We were close enough to break even on American Airlines that I simply wanted out of that trade. I want to free up that money for 1 or 2 new collar trades that I'm looking at in the very near future, this week or next. We did not need to adjust Bank of America, although that may happen in the near future. They're trading higher than the strike price of our short call, so we do want to roll that out, but the short call doesn't expire until July, so we've got a little bit of time on that. We adjusted Ford. We rolled our short calls all the way out to October, and we've got long puts that are in September and still pretty much at the money, maybe just a tiny bit in the money. So we just wanted to get those short calls rolled way out and got a nice little credit for that. We adjusted NVIDIA, so we're in a much better position in NVIDIA now with September short calls and July long puts that are much closer to the money. NVIDIA started the day a little bit to the upside. They're down just a tiny fraction right now. Nothing too major, nothing too exciting. The movement on NVIDIA is pretty small right now. There was no need to adjust Palantir. We're pretty set on Palantir unless they really surged ahead dramatically in the next short period of time. Snap, I think we're in. Wait a minute, did I do that adjustment? Oh, I'm sorry. That adjustment to Palantir, that was an adjustment that was made as part of the adjustment last night. We rolled our short calls out, and we added a bear put calendar spread to protect the position. Instead of a regular put, long put by itself, or instead of a bear put, we did a bear put calendar, so we have some flexibility in that. And then Snap, we're probably going to make an adjustment on Snap. It continues to move up. It hasn't gotten all the way up to where our short call strike is yet. Our short call is really close to expiring. Our puts look pretty good, and they're close enough to the money right now. We'll probably adjust that short call out tonight or tomorrow before the end of the week. SoFi also, we might be eking towards another adjustment on SoFi. I'm not worried about that 16 strike short call getting called out right away, but I do think SoFi may be on their way back up to $18 a share, which would be really nice. That would make us incredibly profitable in that trade. And then we're pretty set on Uber for the short run. If they continue up a little bit, we'll adjust those short calls as well. So all in all, we did a lot with collar trades last night, and our collar trades are all sitting in pretty good position right now. We've got, with our spread trades, I don't have the new Oracle trade on this sheet, but we've got everything else. Palantir up again this morning, like I mentioned, NVIDIA down just a tiny bit, not anything, like I said, not anything spectacular on NVIDIA. Amazon down a little bit today, but not bad. We're still profitable on Amazon. CrowdStrike is up a little bit today, and we're closer to being profitable on that. I think this CoreWeave trade, because it's not updating right here. Let's see if we can just get CoreWeave to update. Our CoreWeave trade is flat today. They shot up $9 a share right at the open of the market. They've come all the way back down to where they're only up about 60 cents a share right now. I'm okay with that. CoreWeave, it would make me happy if we got out of the overbought territory a little bit more. It's been in this overbought territory for almost 3 full weeks right now because of this amazing move up from $40 a share to upwards of $165 a share. It's been over 165 several times. Yesterday it sold off a tiny bit, not a big huge sell off. It looks like it may go negative today. Like I said, it shot up $9 a share at the open. Now it's only up about 20 cents a share. So it could go negative today, and that'd be okay. I'm okay with it pulling a little farther out of the overbought territory. That might give us a chance to reposition or roll short calls one more time and put ourselves in a better profit position on CoreWeave. So all in all, our spread trades are just unreal, absolutely phenomenal this year. Up over 100, and I think that CoreWeave just refreshed, but I can almost guarantee you these numbers right here, one of these two numbers is not accurate. There's a lot more than $5 difference between those current numbers right now on CoreWeave, and I'm not sure why that's showing the way it's showing, but let me see if I can get this manually updated for you, because I think we're up 16-17% on CoreWeave right now. The January 16th, let's see, the January 16th 90 strike call is worth $65.50, and the August 100 strike is worth 55. So this is way off. This is about 65. This is about 55. There's almost $10 difference in them right now. So we're up nicely. I don't know why that is showing the way it's showing, but that's okay. So we're looking really good, probably upwards of 165% right now on our spread trades, collar trades, all looking good. Triple play trades, we're looking good on these as well. I closed AMD yesterday. I put on Discord. I hope you were watching this. I opened AMD yesterday morning, and by the end of the day, I had more than half of my target profit, and the day wasn't even over. I took it and got out. So I'm out of AMD. I'm still in the Diamond trade, and I'm still in the Oracle trade. I don't have the Oracle trade on here yet. I'll get that on here. Oracle reports, I believe, tomorrow after the close of the bell. Let's see if we can get let's maybe make sure on that. Tonight after the bell. I'm sorry. After the market closes tonight, Oracle will report. And so hopefully as early as tomorrow, maybe on Friday, we'll be closing out our Oracle trade, which would be fantastic. Everything else looking pretty good. We're for those that got into Lululemon, you made great profit on that. We made money on AMD. The Diamond trade, it's a little bit longer term. I don't expect the Diamond trade to really pop one direction or the other until probably the early part of next week. If we get profitable in the next couple of days with some big movement, we'll exit the trade and take that profit. But I expect that one's going to get the end of this week or first part of next. All right. That is what I wanted to cover. That's all I wanted to go over today. I'm going to wrap up right there. That gives me time to get this online and get it posted and get to my dentist appointment on time. So have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll be back live tomorrow. One quick programming note, one quick housekeeping thing, so to speak. Friday, I am going to be... I'm going to do a podcast Friday, but I might just do a recording only and do so early in the morning because I'm going to go help out one of my kids and their kids on Friday morning. In fact, I'm staying at my daughter's house on Thursday night. On Friday morning, I'm going to be helping her with some things. And so it's going to be hard for me to get online right at the time I normally do the podcast. I will probably record something much earlier in the morning and put online instead of a live presentation. Jeff, I'm usually starting. Jeff just asked the question, what time are you starting? I am usually starting right now, like 30 minutes after the market opens. But I threw out a message on Discord this morning letting people know that I was going to start about 10, 15 minutes earlier than normal because I've got to get ready to get to a dentist appointment. So today is just kind of a one-off. You're here at the appropriate time for most days, Jeff. Today was just a one-off because I've got other obligations coming up this morning. But I'm trying my best to normally start this right at the top of the hour, 30 minutes after the market opens. That is the time for sure that we will start tomorrow. And then Friday will be another one-off. Friday will be another exception because I'll like I just told you what I've got going on. All right, I'm going to get this recording posted online right away. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, and we will be at the normal time, 8 o'clock Mountain Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Thank you. Bye-bye.